Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik from Figured Out Productions. The following video is a video of some kind, and I hope you enjoy it.
Hey guys, it's Adam here, and today what we're going to be doing is cleaning and restoring and hopefully get working this, a Toshiba Nuon. Now, I'm going to be upfront with you. I already know dude who's watching this video, because there's no women watching this video, it's just dudes, so let's keep it real. Dude who's watching this video, I know you don't have a Toshiba Nuon. I know that. It's okay. This is by far the least useful guide I will have ever put out on this channel, but I'm doing it anyway. What does that tell you? And so I appreciate you watching anyway, just to see the weirdness of this. But a lot of you are probably like, dude, what is that? Is that just like a DVD player? No, this is actually a game console that nobody bothers to deal with. So let me I will eventually, if we can get this thing working, I'm going to give you guys a recap video. We'll talk about the history of it, all that fun stuff. But here's the elevator pitch version. In the 6th gen era, which was the PlayStation 2, Dreamcast, GameCube, Xbox era, Samsung, yes, Samsung, the Korean company, decided to make a game console, and they licensed out the concept of the Nuon to other companies, allowing them to, you know, basically make consoles as well with the same branding. This is the Toshiba variant. Now, it did not pan out, as you can imagine. That's probably why you've never heard of it. Hell, I hadn't heard of it until only a couple of years ago, so don't feel bad. But earlier this year, I was at the Missouri Game Con Junior, and this was for sale. It was the first time I'd ever seen a Nuon anywhere. Now, it did not come with a controller. It didn't come with any games, and the guy wasn't totally sure if it worked or not, but I got an okay deal on it, and I took it, and I brought it home, tested it out. Didn't work. It's got video out that functions, power is functional, the buttons work, the disk drive works. Everything works except for one very key aspect. It doesn't actually read disks. If you put anything in there, it just spins, and then eventually on the screen down here, it just says there's an error. So I was like, okay, I don't know what to do about that. So I told some friends, and they were like, sounds like the laser's dead, just put it to the side, and then next time you see me, I'll tinker with it. And I was like, okay, so I didn't really put much thought into it after that. But very recently, I was talking to another buddy of mine, my buddy Chris. He's the guy who worked on the PC engines and the TurboGrafx 16 stuff. One of the best repairers in that scene, if not the best one. And I basically pitched it to him. I was like, hey man, you ever worked on one of those? What do you think? And he was just like, did you try cleaning it? And I was like, no. He's like, isn't that kind of your thing? I was like, shut up. Yes. Okay, fine. All right. So I figured if I had to clean this thing, maybe we can get that to work, and I figured I'd show you guys. So yeah, I'm going to keep it real with you. Electronically speaking, that's all we're going to do is we're going to clean the exterior. We're going to clean a little bit of the inside. I don't know exactly what to expect in there, but whatever. And then the primary thing we're going to do is clean the laser. And hopefully that's enough. And if it's not, oh well, but at least you guys got to see the insides of the super rare Toshiba Nuon. But all right, there you go. Hopefully you're all filled in. Now let's go. So I actually already kind of, because this thing's huge, this is like a big console, I kind of pre-looked at where the screw points are. In this case, there's one on the side right here. There's another one right there. And then on the back, there's 3. One is right there in the center. Then there's one over here, and there's one over here. So I have to remove those. I will obviously take the remote control off with the tape there. And then on the bottom, there is one inside this foot, and there's another one inside that foot. Very standard. It's just a Phillips head screwdriver. So I'm going to go ahead and remove those. And I would say go ahead and do that yourself, but we both know you're not actually doing that. Okay, so I've removed all the screws. I didn't take anything off yet. I just flipped it upside down so you guys could see this. I just wanted to remove the feet there. Now, once you do that, you just have these little plastic feet that, you know, I guess I could take the screw out, and I'm going to, you know, wash this, the actual plastic part, with soap and water. It's not really that dirty, but I figured it's one of the few things that'll be easy enough to clean. Then we're going to flip it back over, and we're going to remove the lid part here. Now, hopefully, I'm thinking, okay, slide it from the back. It seems to be on rails a little bit. Pull it up. Hopefully we get something that's not too complicated here. Yeah, it's kind of on there. There's something keeping it on there. I'm not entirely certain what. But we can do it. We can do it. Okay, there we go. It was this. Yeah, there we go. There's a little metal lip there that was connected to the front. And there you have it, everyone. Behold, the inner workings of a Toshiba Nuon. That is a lot of empty space. There's not much Okay, that just tells you they really liked the design because, like, it's really small. Like, those parts could have been really consolidated, but they chose not to do it. This is not really the purpose of this video, but I thought you guys might like to see that. I just noticed this. There is the Nuon. Looks like chip there. You can actually see the Nuon part. Anyway, there's also something rattling around in there. Let's see if I can... No? I don't know. Oh, okay. All right, so yeah, that's the power supply. I'm not going to mess with that. Video out. I would assume that's just the motherboard essentially right there. All that stuff I'm not going to touch. I've decided because we don't need to. This is our issue. This is the disk drive. So what we're going to do is try to get to the laser, and this looks kind of PlayStation 2-y, which means you probably just have to take the top off and then it'll probably be exposed. The only thing it looks like it's holding it in place is these two little silver screws, which I think it's about this size. Little small Phillips screwdriver. So yeah, that'll fit right there. So maybe we can just do this and you guys can see this in real time. How about that? And there's one, and hopefully there's no special secrets or anything underneath. There we go. Lift this up. And, oh, there's a spring. Okay. Probably right there. Yeah, there you go. Take that off, I guess. This isn't really dirty or anything, but there she is. There is our laser assembly. Just wanted to show you this before we move on. Look at the assembly date, May 27th, 2000. There you go. Anyway, so there's your laser. What we're going to do is we're just going to clean the lens. So my method for this is very simple. We're going to take Windex, or as it's known in some countries, Windoline, and we're just going to spray some onto a Q-tip and just clean the laser just as gently as we possibly can. And hopefully, I'm just hoping that the issue is just that there's a little bit of dust contamination or something like that on the laser, and that this just kind of gets it going again. Because like I said, it does recognize that there are discs. It just doesn't read them. Yeah, it'll just show that there's an error, and after spinning like forever. So I'm hoping that it's not actually mechanical. It's just some grime or whatever. But I guess we'll see. So I'm going to keep it real with you. There's really nothing else wrong inside this thing as far as I can tell. It's not even dirty. What I'll probably do is maybe go in there with some compressed air and just kind of shoot some dust out of there. But I mean, dude, there's really nothing to see. So basically, I can't believe I'm saying this, we're essentially done. I'm going to take the lid part and go, wash that, soap and water, take the little feet that I showed you, soap and water, clean those up, and then I'll let them dry and we'll come back to it. Okay, I've cleaned all these parts up. This proved a little bit harder than I expected. It had something on it I've never run into before, which was that it had, I can't believe I've never run into this, but it had stickers on it, or it didn't have visible stickers on it, but it had like sticker residue. Not from that tape you saw, there was just like, I don't know, price sticker residue. So if you actually ever run into that problem, I recommend this. This is obviously not an open one, but Adhesive Remover. It's just, a citrus-based thing that you just kind of put on, and it eats away at it, and then you can remove it with just some, scrubbing. That's exactly what I did. Now you can see it's looking a lot nicer. The dust is gone. It's nice and shiny. But at this point, I'm just going to let this dry, air dry. Yes, you could brush it down with a towel or whatever, but I'm not really in a rush to get back to the, to the Toshiba Nuon experience. But yeah, I'll let that air dry, and maybe I'll just do a quick cleaning of the remote. All right, time to work on the remote here. Really not too bad. I'm not going to take this apart. I'm just going to kind of clean around the edges. I was moving the the Nuon case, and it bit me. Sorry if you guys are squeamish there. I kind of cut my finger on it. Yes, it's got like a nice metal ring or edge underneath it, and yeah, anyway, dumb on my part. But it doesn't really matter. What we're going to do is we're going to clean up this remote control, and I'm just going to do this really simplistically. I'm just going to use some like general purpose like cleaning wipes. This is just a wipe, kind of not a disinfectant wipe, but you're not really disinfecting it, just kind of all-purpose cleaning it. You just kind of go like this, and you'll see we got some soap and so on getting on there. No big deal. I'll obviously dry that down, get rid of all that. But that'll just go ahead and remove a lot of the dust and the grime and everything that's kind of built up in there. It's not bad, but it's, whatever, we can do better. So, yeah, obviously now it's kind of soapy. I'll clean that up in a second, but really that's kind of all you have to do. Okay, there you go. It's now very clean. All I did to dry that off, by the way, in case you're curious, is I just took a napkin, just kind of wiped it down. And if you're a little worried about moisture, you can kind of blow in there, and some of that excess moisture will come out, and then you just kind of dab it away. And this is like nothing. This is not a big deal, but it's kind of weird. It's got that like 90s flip phone, late 90s, early aughts flip phone thing going on. But yeah, the remote's pretty much as good as it's going to get. So at this point, the only thing left to do is wait for the parts to dry, and then once that happens, we'll put the console back together. Okay, this is dry now. It's not perfect, but we'll kind of touch up on that in a little bit. But for now, we're going to put this off to the side because we're about to get ready to put this whole thing back together. Not that we've taken a whole lot of it apart, but yeah. So we're getting to this point. Now, we're going to start reassembling it by starting with that piece over there and putting it over here. You'll have noticed that I didn't clean this section yet. This console, as you can tell, a little odd as far as how it dismantles, so we're actually going to clean that last, which is not usually how I do this. But let's do the thing we're here for. We're going to put this back into place. Now, there is this little spring here that, as far as I can tell, wedges in between these two little pillars. So really all we got to do is just kind of sit this back into place, and there you go, that's pretty much it. There's these two silver screws that have to go into it, and they'll have to go in there, and I would say go ahead and do that, but we both know, dude, you're not actually doing this. Okay, that is back in place, so now we just have to take the primary lid piece and just kind of put it back on. So there's this metal lip here, so that's going to kind of sit in front like this, and we basically just have to slide it over the edges, which is not too tricky, and then just kind of, it's just a game of trying to fit it all into the right combination. There you go. Boom. Done. It's now back in place. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the, there was two screws, two black ones that go in the side, one right there, one right there, and then there were three screws right here that go in the back. There was three spots, one here-ish, one there, and then one in the center, and then we'll do the feet separately. Okay, the screws are back in there, just to show you guys. There was one there on the side, another one on that side, and then there were three on the back. One was right here, one was right there. Incidentally, this bottom one you don't have to remove unless you were doing kind of a deeper dive into the console, which we didn't do. And then there's one over there. So I put those back in, and now it's time to put the feet into place. Now this is pretty easy. These things have like little pegs on them, and the pegs just kind of force you to line it up a very specific way. So boom, see, it just kind of sits into the spot, no problem. So then we take our two little Phillips head screws there and put them back into place right there in the center. Okay, now that the feet are back in place, the whole console is put back together. So we're going to flip it over, take a look at it. It is much improved over where it was, but obviously it is not quite all the way there. One thing I didn't mention before, although I should have, at the beginning of this I kind of mentioned there was like a rattling happening in there. Off camera I noticed this little piece of plastic just inside. And I looked around, there was nothing that was obvious, this was obviously from, at least not that I could tell, so it seems like somebody opened this at one point and accidentally left this in there. I don't know, I didn't, it seems unlikely, but so there's just a random piece of plastic just falling off of nothing. I have no idea what this is, but whatever, it no longer rattles. So, at this point we're going to do a little bit more cleaning just to the surface. We're going to clean the case here, bring it a little, make it a little shinier, as well as this front part which still has a bit of dust on it. For that we are going to use this. This is Pledge. This is known as Pronto in some countries. It's basically just like a chemical that, you know, makes it smell nice, makes it more dust resistant, and brings out a nice shine and luster to it. As you can see, it is a big console, so not too hard to do it like that. Spray it down, take a paper towel, and just kind of wipe it down like this. And then what we're going to do is I'll do this to the front and the sides, the bottom, all that stuff, and then we'll just kind of let it sit and dry for like 10-15 minutes and then take a look at it. All right, it has been about 10 minutes or so. I think it looks a lot better. Not perfect. There's still some like scuffs and scarring. I mean, it's tin, it scratches rather easily, but all things considered, I think we did okay. It looks a lot better than it did initially. Yeah, I mean, hopefully this is more than just a cosmetic fix, but we'll never know unless we go ahead, test it, and find out. Okay, so I have the console set up here, which was a little harder than I expected. It just uses standard component cables, but I don't use components, so I had to actually dig around and find some component cables. So we're going to test it now. It always powered up, so hopefully that hasn't changed. Right there, in case you're curious, that's what a Nuon screen looks like. It says there's no disc. We're going to test the remote because I never did that before. Okay, so the remote works. That's good. And I have a couple of games here that were donated to me, so thank you again for that. I will pop in this one, and we'll see what happens here. Close it up. So usually what it always did is it would say loading, and then it would take an eternity on this, and eventually... Ooh! It said game. Did you guys see that? It said game. Maybe it'll work. Holy crap, did we actually fix this? I mean, I don't know, maybe not. Oh, look at that! We have a boot screen. We have something. Wow. Hey, if it's actually working, it goes to show you a lot. Like that's wow. You should clean your consoles. I did not expect that to actually pan out. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I thought, ooh, check it out. It actually says Nuon when it's detecting a Nuon game. That's neat. There you go. All right, everybody. 2020 just got a little less awful. We all just saved a Toshiba Nuon, and you guys have all just seen a Nuon in action for the first time ever. Does that matter? Not really, but it's still kind of neat. I don't think I can use this to actually play it, though. I don't have a controller. There is a Nuon button here, but it doesn't... Well, we know the remote works. We saw that happen, but I don't see any way that this could actually play. I don't know if this is supposed to move or what this is, but well, whatever. I don't think I can actually play it with this controller, unfortunately, so hopefully one day I get a controller that you put in there. But yeah, that's great news, guys. We have the console working. Still can't play it, but we're making progress. We're making progress. So there you go, guys. Hopefully this was interesting to you. I thank you so much for watching. If you could like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're that one guy somewhere on the planet who actually needed to fix a Toshiba Nuon, hopefully, maybe this did something for you. Thank you so much, everybody. Please check the description for all the social media stuff. Thank you so much. See you later.